will be reading the Wikipedia page for GoldSrc. I hope you enjoy. GoldSrc, sometimes called the Half-Life engine, has a proprietary game engine developed by Valve. At its core, GoldSrc is a heavily modified version of ID Software's Quake engine. It made its debut in 1998 with Half-Life and powered future games developed by or with oversight from Valve, including Half-Life's expansions, Day of Defeat, and games in the Counter-Strike series. GoldSrc was succeeded by the Source engine with the releases of Half-Life Source, Half-Life 2, and Counter-Strike Source in 2004. Development. The basis of GoldSrc is the engine used in the video game Quake, albeit with heavy modification by Valve. While the engine served as the basis for GoldSrc, Gabe Newell said that a majority of the code used in the engine was created by Valve. GoldSrc's artificial intelligence systems, for example, were essentially made from scratch. The engine also uses some code from other games in the Quake series, including Quake World and Quake 2. In 1997, Valve hired Ben Morris and acquired WorldCraft, a tool for creating custom Quake maps. The tool was renamed Valve Hammer Editor and became the official mapping tool for GoldSrc. The engine supports skeletal animation, which allowed for more realistic body kinematics and facial expression animations than most other engines at the time of release. The GoldSrc engine initially had no real name and was simply called the Half-Life engine. When the need arose for Valve to work on the engine without risking introducing bugs into Half-Life's codebase, Valve forked the code, creating two main engine branches, one Goldmaster branch, GoldSrc, and the other Source. Internally, any games using the original branch were referred to as GoldSrc to differentiate it from the second branch, while the Source branch evolved into the Source engine. Valve released versions of the GoldSrc engine for OS X and Linux in 2013, eventually porting all of their first-party games using the engine to the platforms by the end of the year. History. Half-Life was Valve's debut title and the first to use GoldSrc. It received critical acclaim, winning over 50 PC Game of the Year awards. The game was followed up by two expansions, Half-Life Opposing Force and Half-Life Blue Shift, both of which ran GoldSrc and were developed by Gearbox Software. Half-Life Decay, an expansion pack for Half-Life only released on PlayStation 2, was released in 2001 alongside Half-Life's debut on the platform. Unlike other games in the series, it never received an official version for Windows. However, an unofficial version of the game was released by independent developers in 2008. Half-Life Decay was the final iteration in the Half-Life series to run on GoldSrc, with all future entries in the series using the Source and Source 2 engines. Valve developed several games using the GoldSrc engine, many of which were based on original user-made modifications. Valve's Team Fortress Classic, released in 1999, was developed primarily by two of the developers of the Quake mod, Team Fortress. Counter-Strike and Day of Defeat were also originally Half-Life modifications that Valve purchased the rights to and re-released as standalone titles. Counter-Strike evolved into its own series with the debut of the Japanese arcade game Counter-Strike Neo in 2003, and Valve's own follow-up in 2004, Counter-Strike Condition Zero, both of which run on the GoldSrc engine. Although Valve's further installments in the series, starting with Counter-Strike Source, used the newer Source engine instead, Counter-Strike Online and Counter-Strike Nexon Zombies, two spin-off titles released by Nexon in 2008 and 2014 respectively, used GoldSrc as their basis. The GoldSrc engine was also used for a variety of third-party games and modifications not directly developed by Valve. Rewolf Software used the engine for the game Gunman Chronicles in 2000, and the PC version of James Bond 007 Nightfire was developed by Gearbox Software using a modified version of GoldSrc in 2002. Unofficial community-made modifications of GoldSrc have also been produced. Notable games include Natural Selection, Cry of Fear, and Sven Co-op, with Valve's Team Fortress Classic, Counter-Strike, and Day of Defeat all being based on GoldSrc mods of the same names. Cry of Fear and Sven Co-op have since been released for free as standalone games on Steam, both of which use a licensed derivative of the engine with their own customizations. A list of games using GoldSrc include Half-Life, Half-Life Opposing Force, Team Fortress Classic, Sven Co-op, Counter-Strike, Gunman Chronicles, Ricochet, Deathmatch Classic, Half-Life Blue Shift, Half-Life Decay, James Bond 007 Nightfire, Day of Defeat, Counter-Strike Neo, Counter-Strike Condition Zero, Counter Counter-Strike Online, Cry of Fear, and Counter-Strike Next on Studio. That is all for this Wikipedia article. It was a short one, but I haven't made one of these in a while, and I wanted something easier to do, so I could get back into the swing of things. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. If you want any specific Wikipedia articles to be read, put them in the comments, and I will get to them. Thank you.